You're where like you have two sort of candidates. You have apple. Well, yeah, you have an apple and you have chocolate, right? And those are fairly two completely opposite things. They don't really, you know, it's two different people for both of them. And then let's say that now there's a third candidate, orange. Now orange is obviously much closer to apple, and let's say that before orange joined, the voting was, I think the example I used was 60% for apple and then 40% for chocolate. Right, that makes sense. Now orange comes in, and half of the apple voters decide orange is where it's at. Like, I still like apple, but orange just aligns with my views more. So now you have apple with 30%, orange with 30%, and chocolate with 40%. So now with you have chocolate as the leader, even though 60% of people don't want chocolate to be leader. Like, that's a fucking huge deal, because that means that you only have like in a success, like, unless you're retarded, you only have one candidate like per party, and the parties have to be like completely opposite. And like, it seems that no one other than nerdy citizens are worried in this at all. And there's also like the fucking disaster of the electoral college, where like, because each state as a starting point is given like 3 electoral college fucking units. I don't know what it works. And each state is giving 3, and then the rest are distributed, which means that states which should have like 1 or 2 instead have 3 or 4, which means that the smallest states, the electoral, it's like split by population of state. This means that like smaller states have more power, and there's like crazy things, like 1 voter in Wyoming is like 3 voters in California or some shit like that. Like, if you're in Wyoming, you have 3 times more power. And then you have to like remember that in our fucked up system, it's like win, if you win, you take it all. It's so bad. It means that like basically you can win with like 20% of the votes for you because of this. It's awful. Whoops, shit. I'm terrible. I'm awful. Kind of the same shit in the EU Parliament. Yeah, like all election, everything is shit. Just fix it all. Nice. Yeah, dude. In the awful, awful run, I get awesome RNG. That's how it works here. Make it a real democracy. Yep. Make our voting system not awful. But I mean, like, I made this connection in my head. It's like, it's like QWERTY, right? Because I've been interested in like keyboard layouts and shit. You have QWERTY, which is like first past the post, and then you have all the alternatives, single transferable vote, like everything else, which was like created by someone who's like thinking about it. And for the keyboard layout equivalent, you have like Colmac, Dvorak. Whoops. You have all the alternative layouts. Where the fuck? Alright. And like in keyboard layouts, QWERTY is just fucking terrible, and then everything else is like way better, but compared to each other, like there's not really that big of a difference. But like QWERTY is just the worst. It's like the same thing. Like QWERTY, like first past the post is just the worst thing on earth. Yet we use it. It's like the standard everywhere basically. However, every other system is like way better, but compared to each other, it's better. So we don't even need to like the best of the best. We just need something better than our shitty system. You get the analogy, yeah. I don't know. I've been addicted to like almost like efficiency, like Windows. Windows is good. Nah, I don't know. I've liked efficiency recently because I like I use Colmac, which is like an efficient, well, sort of like a better keyboard layout, and then you have shit. I was like, this is really, but on the vacation when I was bored, I would learn Esperanto on Duolingo. So yeah, I was just learning Esperanto. It was great. I like Windows 7 better than I thought. Windows 7 is getting to the point where like it's a good operating system, but it's just outdated. And as far as I see it, Windows 10 is like very similar to Windows 7. I'm addicted to efficiency. Yeah, I don't know. Speedrunning is kind of. I don't think efficiency is the right word. Maybe I just like things to be not stupid. If something is clearly wrong, I will try to make it not clearly wrong in all my ability. But I mean, like, learning Esperanto is kind of a waste of my time because I will never ever, like, chances are, like, meet someone else who's trying to learn Esperanto. Unless I, like, get into the community, which I don't really plan on. I always split early. Esperanto, it's fun. It's such a good language to learn because it's not stupid. Like, I don't know, I don't know, I find linguistics stupidly interesting, and I like spend all my free time learning about like, well, like watching like YouTube videos about it and shit. It's all so good, I love it. And the more you do it, the you sort of realize like everything is shit. Fix it. What am I doing? Like, here's some interesting things about Esperanto, right? So first you've got, like, I'll just talk about Esperanto for a bit because it's interesting. Shit, I'm terrible at this. So right, you've got so let's just talk about the vocabulary for a bit. So it has a lot of things with like a root word and then prefix suffixes, and it has like way less root words. Holy crap, 2 misses, that's really good. So let's take the word for house, domo. Now let's say you want to say mansion, and if you think about it, mansion is only just like a big house, and there's a suffix for big, e.g. egg. So you put that after, but before the O, I'll explain why that is later, and you have domego, and then that's mansion, and all you had to do was apply a suffix, and then you have what is it, cottage, and cottage is small house, and the suffix is it, so domito, something like that. And yeah, a cool thing. Well, shit. Nice. Let's let me focus. So right, the last letter, it's interesting because it corresponds to basically what word it is, what type of word it is. So all nouns in Esperanto, all of them, end in an O. No exceptions to this. All adjectives end with an A. Verbs end with a different depending on their form. Like, what, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but like basically, the only one I've learned so far in Duolingo is, I don't know, is like present tense, and that's AS. So to sing is like cantas, and that doesn't change. Oh, look at my head. That doesn't change depending on subject. So like in English, for the most part, it doesn't change depending on subject. Pronoun, at least that's what I should be saying. It's like I run, you run, they run, we run. Everything's consistent. However, this is the stupid thing about English and languages in general, is that there's an exception. I am, you are. And I didn't even know this until like I thought about it. It was awesome. But it's 100% consistent Esperanto. Let me think of other things. Adverbs end with an E. I don't know. Everything's just super awesome. And because this is all completely modular, what you can do, and this is an example of something I did and like blew my mind. So let's say you have the house is warm. You have that would be la domo estas varma. And let's translate that. Well, that is the house is warm or hot. Now what you can do is, instead of saying is hot, you can change the word hot to a verb, meaning to be hot. And you just do that by changing varma, the adjective, to varmas. So it's an good meme. PB, woohoo. Yay. I don't think I even saved a second. Like, I went from 13.15.9 to 13.15.1. Yeah, that's right.